Oh, sorry about that. I just was eating dinner right before we got started. Or lunch, I guess. Lunch. Hey guys, Eric with the Miller Park Minute, where we're throwing strikes and getting likes, hitting dingers, getting listeners. Back again with another episode. This is your only daily Brewers podcast, 5:30 a.m. Central Standard Time for upload time. Uh, we talk Brewers, we talk baseball every single day out here on the interwebs. One of the great parts about this is we have the freedom to say what we want, say what we think. I really enjoy coming at you, having baseball conversation. That's what this show is about. We are about the baseball conversation. We are about everything going on in the world of Milwaukee Brewers. We talk a little Major League Baseball. We talk about everything. That being said, we have a lot going on tonight and today on the podcast. So we're going to get into this whole thing, the whole thing. And we're going to talk Milwaukee Brewers and Corbin Burnes and what happened and what's going on and where we stand today. And one of the things I always say is there's two sides to every story. There's two pieces to the component here. And we'll cover them both. I have strong feelings on both sides. I'm not going to say one way or another that the Brewers are right or that Corbin Burnes is right. If you want to join this stream, I actually just posted, as I was looking off here, I just posted the link. If you want to sound off, if you got something to say it in the comments, or join me live. You can actually come on video with me and chat, and we can have a conversation face to face on the interwebs. That being said, Corbin Burnes lost his case this week. So the process here, basically what happened was Corbin Burnes lost. It got out in the news to us. Everybody was kind of digesting. And then the next day, he did an interview with Adam McCalvy. So the first thing here, first important piece of this whole puzzle, I think, to understand is that Corbin Burnes was going into a case. He was the one person out of the 11 people that the Milwaukee Brewers had going in that had a case going. When you have a case, they automatically stop talking. It goes to the case. It goes to the arbiter. They present their side, you present your side. That's how it goes. They could not meet somewhere in the middle. Sounds like Burnes wasn't serious about staying in Milwaukee. It's not necessary. I wouldn't say that. I would say that once they went to arbitration, it was done. They stopped talking. They acted like they were going to keep talking, and that's kind of the press way to say it. But they stopped talking. So the part about that, Chad, is that once it's going to arbitration, you're going to court. You are going to court automatically. So 3 weeks ago when we got this information, it was going to come down to either Corbin Burnes wins or loses based on the representation and the facts that people put up. So that's very important. That's very key. They haven't had time to go back and forth and settle on a middle number. They were going to arbitration. Yes, they were 700K apart. Other teams have gone over 200K, 100K. The Rays are notorious for taking players to arbitration over $100,000. You know, it's stupid. And I'm not disagreeing that Corbin Burnes shouldn't be paid that amount. I'm not saying that Corbin Burnes is worth any less. I think Corbin Burnes is worth all of the money, and he's probably going to net a $20,000 to $30,000 or $30 million a year contract when it comes time. Do you think Corbin was wrong for airing out grievances between them? Yes, I do. I fully do. Because here's the thing. You already know you're going into this process. And that's what I got into on my podcast yesterday. Here's what happened. They knew they were going into this process for a couple weeks now. I don't know if 2 weeks is the exact right number, but 2 weeks ago, they knew that this was going to happen. He knew And this is how the process works. It's not just Corbin Burnes, it's everybody. When you go in front of these arbitrators, the team is going to tell them every reason why you suck and why they shouldn't have to pay you any more money. That's every case. That's not just Corbin Burnes. That same list that they crossed off, that he's the reason they didn't get to the postseason. He's the reason that they lost in the playoffs. He's the reason that they sucked at the end of the year last year. Yeah, that they would have said that whether it was Corbin Burnes, Brandon Woodruff, Willie Adames, it doesn't matter. Whoever the case was, those were the things they're going to stroll out. The organization themselves has a list of things that they put. Now, if you win the World Series, they can't really say anything because you perform in the postseason. They probably can, but you for reference, that's what I'm getting at. If you listen to the David Sampson Nothing Personal podcast that I posted on the Facebook group, you can see, and he says that's just part of the process. Corbin Burnes stepped out of line by even saying anything. He could have said no comment. He chose to make the issue worse. So, in a year that's going to determine whether or not he stays in Milwaukee long term, just give him the money he wants. I agree. I mean, I don't disagree. But you got to realize the ball's not in his court. The ball is not in his court. The ball is in Milwaukee's court. And that's where I'm saying it's business, because he is not in control of where he goes, if he gets traded or not. He's not in control of any of that. His one job right now, and I'm going to say this, his one job right now is to play to his best abilities, to earn the best major league contract, to stay healthy. That's his job. That's where he's coming from. And that's what he's got to do. And he's going to make friends in the organization and do all that stuff. That's part of it. But that put a target on his back. That really did. And
Daddy, can I be full?
How much did you eat?
I have one more piece left.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You ate 2 pieces?
What?
You ate 3 pieces? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. But that's the truth. He made that choice. He made that choice to make comments and to drag the process out in front of the cameras. Had he said, it's just part of the game, just part of business, which it is, which is the truth, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be having this conversation. I'd be droning on about Aaron Ashby's injury and Jason Alexander's injury and projections and things like that. But we're having this conversation strictly because he made a scene. He kind of threw a temper tantrum in a way. And I said that. And it's very unprofessional. Well said. I feel like Corbin did not have much interest in sticking around. Yeah, I think at a certain point, I think these guys get an ego and they begin thinking they're bigger than the game. They're bigger than the team. Once you're gonna, escalate yourself to probably the top major league. I would say he's the top major league pitcher and going to be the top free agent once the time comes. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. All right, I'll be up. But yeah, I think that's sorry, somebody's messaging me about where to find it. Yeah, I just, one of the things that's huge about this is you're still a member of the team, and that's, you kind of have to, it's like working for a company. If you don't do what you're supposed to, your boss is going to get pissed. All right, we're going to read this one. I think he said that to get out of there, he's unhappy. It put the spotlight on him, which will ultimately get more to think. It'll hype his makeup comfort, I think. Betting on himself. I can't. I agree. I mean, I don't think you're wrong here in saying that. And I think when it comes down to it, Corbin is really, really going to be proud. And I'm not gonna shy away from the fact I'm being pro Milwaukee here for on this side, but I'm also being excited on this. Um, Milwaukee does some things, and we'll cover that in a few minutes. But Milwaukee does some things that are very poor with its players and with its performances. And I think one of the big things here to focus on is one side. This is a two-sided deal. I mean, both are kind of in the wrong, and they did this with Josh Hader. They did this with Lorenzo Kane. They did this getting rid of Brent Suter. There's a piece and a component here where the Brewers have bad management. That's true. I said that on the Bart Winkler podcast. Go to the Bart Winkler podcast. He gave a great summation. It's from 2 days ago. There's good and bad. So let me get in the comments here and read kind of. But come on, the Brewers are going to lose the top tier pitcher over 750K, and you blame Corbin Burnes. I'm not blaming Burnes. No, this is not what I'm saying. I'm saying Corbin stepped out and said the wrong shit at the wrong fucking time. Corbin Burnes is unprofessional as shit here because that's how this process goes. The arbitration process is about his raise. It's about nothing more than that. Most players don't even go because they don't want to hear what the organization has to say. They send a representative. He went. He heard what they said. Too bad. So sad. Don't shut your mouth. Don't bitch in front of a camera and say it. Yeah, he deserves all the money. Don't get me wrong in that. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve money. He doesn't deserve to be paid. He's going to be a $30 million a year pitcher. All right, Chad, what do you got to say? Couldn't of the arbitrator made a middle ground number? No. So here's how this works. I'm glad you asked. Like Maxwell said, he brought his grievances to the media. Shows either a little immature, he doesn't want to stay. Agreed. Very much agreed. But there's no middle ground. It's either their number or Corbin's number. There's no meeting in the middle. The arbiter doesn't do that. He picks one side or another. So it basically how it works is, say the middle point is, we'll just say for ease of use, 10.3. Say it's 10.3 million, 10.3 million or whatever it is. 10.3 million to whatever. If the arbiter agrees that he's worth 10.3 or below, they go with the Brewers and then they don't move the number. If he's above 10.3, based on the case that Corbin and his representatives present, then they go to Corbin's number. So there's no middle number. The arbiter does not pick a middle number. It is strictly based on the facts of the case that they present to each other. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And that's Maxwell just said that. I think it was a little bit to do with him calling out the owners for being cheap. Yeah, we're a small market team. I get that, but it's been a long time since our Brewers have opened their checkbook. Yeah, I agree there. And when they have as many guys on team-friendly deals as we do, now it's time to spend money. I don't think he's wrong for doing that at all. He is wrong. He is wrong because he it was not his place or his time. He can say it once he's traded, once he's gone, but he is still a member of the Milwaukee Brewers. So that part, I agree. It is time to open up the checkbooks, and I've said this in multiple podcasts. It is time, and Matt Arnold got shoved in at the wrong time because you're gonna judge Matt Arnold's tenure based on what happened, and I think that's where David Stern stepped out because he did with a year left on his deal because he didn't want to have to deal with all this and then have it tarnish him to go to get another job at another organization. That's why David Stern stepped out. That's why Matt Arnold's there. Matt Arnold got a hard hand to deal with because he is literally dealing with the Corbin Burnes situation. He's dealing with the Willie Adames, Brandon Woodruff, all these guys. These are important pieces and important players on this Milwaukee Brewers team. And it's the future. He's dealing with the future right now in his hands. And I mean, Corbin is an employee at the end of the day. Corbin is an employee of the Milwaukee Brewers. He works. He's got to show up. He's got to pitch. He And my boss, not that I have a boss, but my boss would say the same thing, and if I was somebody's boss, I would say the same thing. If you speak out, that's going to put a target on your back. I'm not going to be happy with you. And that's why you saw them come back with a comment, and why they're trying to kind of protect where they stand. And the big part about this is that it shouldn't even be here. We shouldn't be having this conversation. Like I said, I shouldn't be on this live stream at this exact moment. I should be talking about more boring topics that the usual. But I appreciate it. I appreciate the viewership. I'm glad you guys are all here with me and chatting about this. I just think that he stepped out of line. I think totally uncalled for. We don't need to be here. He could have gave the simple answer of, hey, I don't agree with what happened, but at the end of the day, it's a business. That's part of the business. That's part of how we have to do this, and move on. I really think that's where it comes down. And this doesn't make me dislike Corbin Burnes. It just makes me think less of him as a person, because he made a immature decision to do something that's hurting himself in the long haul. It looks bad. Do you think organizations, when and if he does become a free agent, are going to like that he spoke out against the Brewers? He's on the payroll. This isn't about whether he was going to be a free agent or not. This is about a raise. When you speak out against your boss, against your raise, like when you're in the process of getting a raise and you go grumble to other employees, that hurts your view there. You know what I mean? It's the same kind of concept as we all deal with, but on a much grander scale, and it involves lawyers and a arbiter, which is like he's a lawyer, but he's a special lawyer, I guess is how it's supposed to work. I don't know. You guys got me going here. I love it. I love the process. I love that you guys are all here and have good things to say today. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Appreciate that, Amy. Yeah, it's a disruption to the business of where the Brewers are and where the Brewers need to be. And that's at the end of the day, we need to worry about, we lost 2 starting pitchers this week. We need to worry about the strength of our rotation. And how Corbin Burnes and Freddie Peralta and Brandon Woodruff and Eric Lauer and Wade Miley and Ethan Small are going to perform. Let's see what Scott's got to say. They should have gave him $11 million right off the bat. Everyone would be happy. Who is the pitcher we had in the last 15 years that even compares to him? And that's true. I agree. But and Scott, I don't know where you came in on this whole thing, but what I said is this is part of the process. The minute the process started, we were already going to get a case one way or another. There was no meeting between the day that they didn't agree to the meeting till the arbitration case took place on Tuesday. There was no way in between. And I'm sorry, Corbin Burnes is married. What kind of crappy husband goes to his arbitration case over spending Valentine's Day with his wife? He could have just sent his representatives. That shows what an arrogant person he is there. Send your representatives. Unless you're not confident in the representatives you hired, and obviously they didn't do a good job because he lost the case. Just my thought. He spent the whole day in an arbitration case that he ended up losing when he could have spent it with his wife on Valentine's Day. Hallmark holiday or not. But yeah, it's not and that's the thing. That's where this whole story blows up, because Corbin made it not about the result, or Corbin made it about himself more than the result, more than, okay, I lost the case. Now I got work. I got to go to work. Should have been, hey, I lost the case. Now let's go to work and win. Not, hey, I lost the case and this is what they said about me and I'm pissed about it. That's stupid. That's straight out stupid. And I get they should have paid him more money. But you can't. This game is not about your feelings. Fuck your feelings. Straight up, fuck your feelings. Like you're a product on a field. You need to know that at the end of the day. And if they hadn't, they obviously had a fuck enough stuff on there to say, look, the arbiter agrees and says, nope, you ain't worth it. And it was a middle ground. He wasn't even trying to. That's the thing about this. That if they're above or below the middle ground, then that's how it's decided. So they obviously decided that he was worth was the middle 10-3. 10-3. So 10-3, he's not worth 10-3. He's worth below 10-3. It goes to the Brewers. And then they don't put a middle number in. So, I mean, I think that this is all too much right now. I think we need to worry about winning. We need to focus on the things that matter at the end of the day. Your sound is off, FYI. Oh, like the timing? My timing is off? Yeah, when I go live, sometimes the timing goes off. So you're probably seeing me rant here, and then it's coming out seconds later. Yeah, it's something with this live. I've been working on trying to fix that issue, and it gets a little better, but it has something to do with the software. So you're a part of a team. It doesn't come down to one player. Exactly. At the end of the day, the Brewers team does not just consist of Corbin Burnes. Corbin Burnes isn't the only guy on this squad, and he got very selfish this week.
I'm just letting you know your sound is off.
Like the
Delay.
timing. Yeah, I know. I was just saying I can't. I don't know how to fix it.
Okay, yeah, because look, you're slowing. Look how slow it is.
I know.
Okay,
it's
I was just
something-
letting you know because I saw it and I'm like, oh shit.
It's something with the software. Yeah, it sucks. Thank you for pointing it out, though. You still come across as Facebook user.
That's because I'm
Blocked?
Facebook jailed.
Oh, okay. I figured that was you. So, anyways, yeah, it's just it's a matter of like we shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be in this conversation. I don't know why we even have to worry about this. Like, business is done. The business side of it is done, and it's over. Let's move on. Let's talk about the fact that we've got a Bryce Turing that's going to make his first roster. Let's talk about hurt ego. Yes, exactly. That's what it comes down to. I said it before, fuck your feelings. It's true. His feelings were hurt. His feelings were hurt at the end of the day. He's gonna cry about it, and he's gonna be sad, and let him. Yeah, sometimes these guys need to be taken down a notch. Sometimes they need to be taken down a peg. Yeah, for sure, Scott. I would definitely Scott Larson and I do pods together once in a while. Shout out Scott Larson. Hashtag truth. I'm giving the hashtag truth today, Scott. And I'll probably do another hashtag truth because now this has gotten me kind of worked up. So anytime I'm worked up, it's always bad for the podcast because then it just the content goes from straight up positive to like a negative. And it's fun, and it's fun to riff off and be angry, but at the same time it's kind of like I just don't like, I don't like that where that puts me. And I don't know. That's it's something I got to rethink. I can't do it in the middle of a live stream, though. I appreciate everyone commenting on it. I do think Turing will make the opening day roster. I had some conversation with Dom Catronio the other night, and he's pretty strong on it. Yeah, he is bitching. I think that we've got a lot of good stuff to work with yet. We're going off of a grounds of just solid group of players. I wouldn't say they're the greatest, they're the best players, but we've got a solid group of players. And that's what's really I talked about what Pacoda thinks of our starting rotation. Last night, yeah. It's a mess in here with all the burn stuff that I've talked about. So, but the Pacoda projections for our rotation are actually really good and really nice. I should really link up all this stuff that I read so I can share it with you guys so you can read it for yourselves. But I always forget to because it's late when I record podcasts. Usually I'm recording at 11:30 at night, 10:30 at night sometimes. Occasionally 9:30, but most of the time it's later. Unless I do interviews. I don't know if they're interviews per se though. They're more like chats. Like I chatted this week with Jeff Ledler. That was a good chat. That was really fun. If you haven't gotten an opportunity, go back and watch that. He's a cool guy, and it's super fun to make these connections. And Dom came back for a second conversation, and we're having a lot of fun with it. Which is amazing. I mean, I didn't dream that we'd be here and have this kind of news and have this much interest in a podcast where I just sit and ramble with Milwaukee Brewers. And the Butcher's doing his thing. We had a great episode the other night talking about NL Central Hall of Famers and players that we, as Brewers fans, can't normally like celebrate and be happy about. But we got to talk about some guys that we really love that are players. That's fun to me. That's what's fun to me. Having to split sides and split hairs on a topic that sucks. I think the Brewers should pay everybody. I do. I think we keep Willie. I think we keep Corbin. I think we keep Brandon Woodruff, Eric Lauer, Freddie Peralta. I think we keep all those guys. I think that would be great for the organization. We'd have a much longer stretch of winning years than this last 5 to 6, 7 years, whatever you want to call it. I think that would be great. I think it would be awesome. But the reality of the nature is we ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna do it because it's gonna take a very, very couple years, I would say. I wouldn't say a very long time, but I'd say in a couple of years, we are really going to see the advent of the Steve Cohen effect on baseball, where the small market clubs are going to realize they have to spend to get somewhere. If you look at the contract of every shortstop, and this is the easiest comp right now, the shortstop market, because the shortstop market went sky high this year, and you're not going to be able to manufacture a great shortstop every few years, every 3 to 4 years. Willie Adames is a rarity. Bryce Turing, we don't know what he's going to turn out to be yet, so we can't even say. And previously we had Orlando Arcia, who really didn't end up being all that great in the long run. I mean, he was the number one top prospect at one point. These guys that we bring up are not going to be the tops. So you're going to need to realize that, and you're going to need to spend money. Whether the Milwaukee Brewers do it or not is a totally different game. And I see a lot of people kind of in the comments right now saying Mark should sell the team if they're not going to spend money. It's more than Mark Antanasio, unfortunately. It's not just I'm not saying he's not cheap. He is very, very, very fucking cheap. But at the end of the day, you're going to see a long time before all the owners really get it. And salary caps, like everyone says, have nothing to really do with that. It's more of the fact that these players are going to be worth more because of a guy like Steve Cohen. And let the players get paid. I mean, if Steve Cohen signs Corbin Burnes to a $300 million contract for 5 years, so be it. It's going to happen. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with that. I think that's our only question going into the season. And that he's talking about the two young outfielders. And I like this. I like this scenario because we've already gotten the young pitcher thing out of the way, which in the long and short of it, the pitcher is more detrimental to the game than like a position player. Because if one or two guys don't hit, you can still win games. I mean, obviously, we haven't been hitting for years. But we've still managed to win games because we have good pitching. So I do agree. I'm interested to see what Freelick and Weimer can do. Um, Garrett Mitchell being out there, obviously, he was already kind of up. We saw how he played. He was very good. Yes, and that's true. I mean, Peralta is going to stay around. I think Peralta is very, very happy here, and I think he appreciates. I think he has more appreciation for what the organization has done for him. Uh, and the problem is he's going to be injury prone. Oh, I did not know that. I did not know this. He's breaking news to me. I didn't know that Woody was on the Scott Boras train. So he may get a 200 million or a 300 million dollar contract too. I mean the numbers have just gone up. Boris is going to be making a lot more money. We thought Boris made a record amount. I think that was last year. I think last year he had 3 or 4 big agents. It was the Manny Machado year. Who Manny Machado now has opted out, or is going to opt out and try and make more money. Which, God bless him. I mean, he is a great third baseman in the game, but and was a great shortstop. But more to it. Did they release their numbers for public view? No, they haven't yet. They have not yet. The Forbes list for Brewers revenue and Major League Baseball revenue is not out right now. That comes, I want to say in March. That's when they'll come out. They're more cheap owners than Mark Antanasio. That's what I'm saying. Like the Pirates owners are notoriously cheap, and he's owned that team for a very long time. That's why the Pirates are terrible. At the end of the day, it's because the owners don't spend money. How many outfielders make the opening day roster? At this juncture, I think you are going to see a Garrett Mitchell for sure, Jesse Winker, Christian Yelich. You're going to get a Tyrone Taylor if nothing happens with Tyrone Taylor. I'm still suspecting, and I've said this multiple times over, I'm still suspecting that Tyrone Taylor is going to be close to on his way out, if not designated for assignment. And that's just because I don't think he's going to perform to the major league level that we need him to. He's an average to below average player at best. And that's just the truth of the nature. That's the reality of that's how these players turn out sometimes. So can't have every player turn out to be the best player in the world, unfortunately. Yes, they are owned by more than one person, but he is the primary. So when you have ownership like that, you basically he's the primary controlling owner. Like okay, Giannis has a percentage, and that's more of like a placeholder percentage. It's sorry if you own. I'm going to say this: if you own Packer stock, it's like owning Packer stock. He has no say. He doesn't really get any revenue or anything off of it. It's just like an in name only ownership. He owns in name only. Hello. Just says Facebook user. I apologize. I don't know who you are. I don't have the Facebook stream up. Maybe I do. Hey, Richard. It's Richard. I see it now. But yeah, and that's the thing. Like, this is in name only. There's a lot of people in a lot of people involved. I'll put that down. There's a lot of people involved with this organization that are in name only, that don't really have say in what decisions they make. I mean, right now the other ugly part that's come out is this ballpark thing. I barely even scratched the surface on the ballpark money in the 200, the proposed, let's put it in correct terms, proposed $290 million that they want to give the Milwaukee Brewers. Why do they want to give the Milwaukee Brewers $290 million? Because one, they want them to renew the lease for another 20 years. They want to guarantee that Miller Park, i.e. American Family Field, stays in Milwaukee. The Brewers keep playing there. And they have that because it's a cash cow. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just the same as the Bucks or the Packers. You know, that it brings people to the area. People visit. Giannis should veto. Doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it does not work that way. Excuse me. But yeah, they're gonna get a proposed $290 million. That money is gonna go to the cost of ownership of the stadium, and they already are currently doing. Actually, I heard this the other day. They're currently doing like a speaker renovation. They're using state money for that. That money cannot be used for players, for contracts, for things like that. It can strictly be used for the stadium and costs around it. Now, this is all proposed. This isn't anything that's set in stone. They are not using our tax dollars. What they're using is bonus revenue. So, bonus revenue, basically, long and short of it, let's not get into too deep into the politics side. But the bonus revenue that we have in the state system right now is because of all the COVID money and the funds that were given to us via all these bills and things like that. So we have a deficit, a bonus. We have like the extra money in the state that we're going to be using to improve or supposedly improve the grounds around American Family Fields, i.e., or American Family Field, i.e., Miller Park. And I think it's great. I'd be happy to um I'd be happy to see them make changes to make upgrades. I don't know if you ever drive around the back on Miller Park Way there, which is still Miller Park Way. It's not Brewers Way. Well, the one half of it is, the other half's that's still so weird how the city did that. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. They should have just left it alone. Um have you discussed the manager is waiting over on his contract too? Seems like CC is waiting for the shoes to drop. Also, I agree. So I was thinking about this earlier. I talked about it briefly last night. Yeah, I want to say on last night's podcast, I talked about it in brief. So I 100% think the contract with Craig Council depends on where they're going to go, and they're having discussions to find out if they're all in. If Council's going to get to keep working with these young players that he's worked with, the pitchers that he's worked with, and where it goes in the long haul of things. Because in the end of all this, Council wants to play for a winner. He's got 2 World Series already under his belt as a player. He's got a great success story for his managerial career. Honestly, if he said he's leaving tomorrow, there'd be other teams that would if he got fired, there would be teams calling him right away. And that's the truth. That's the damn truth. Hashtag truth, baby. Craig Council wants to find out what's going on, and he wants to know where we're going to be, what he's going to have to manage, and if he's going to have success. Because just like a player who wants to make the most money and have the most success and have every opportunity, so is Craig Council. Craig Council's just like everybody else. He wants to be a winner. And if they're going to put a loser out for him and not spend money, he's not going to want to do it. Plain and simple. Does it make it harder for us to sign Burnes long term? Yeah. Yes and no. Yes and no. I think in the long and short of this whole ordeal, what's going on, I think Corbin Burnes is the one who made the mistake here. I think Corbin Burnes is the guy who's got to mend the fence with the Brewers. I don't think it's the other way around, because that's the business. That's how this transaction was originally supposed to go down and did go down. Surplus. Thank you, surplus. Yep. She was giving me the word when I needed it. Brewers Boulevard is what it's called. I was close. Brewers Boulevard, Milwaukee Boulevard, Milwaukee, whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I don't live there. I don't drive on it. I do drive on it enough, but not enough that I have it memorized. But yeah, signing Corbin Burnes was going to be hard no matter what, because you've got player expectation, team expectation. Player expectation right now is up here, because he does value himself that high. And I'm not saying having self-worth and self-value isn't a good thing, but at the same point in time, you have to be realistic with the team that's in front of you. You have to enjoy what you're doing and enjoy what's surrounding you. If you don't, I'm going to draw a similarity. I'm going to draw a similarity for you guys. The my best case and my best thing, and I actually Miller Parkway. Yeah, no, and yeah. I thank you for correcting me. I appreciate the corrections. I go back and listen to myself, and sometimes I'm like, God, I'm so terrible. But I'm going to draw this similarity for you. The Milwaukee Brewers broadcast team and everyone associated with the on-air productions for Bally, Fox Sports Wisconsin, TMJ, you name it. Anything Brewers media related, all these people that I've talked to, the Tim Dillards, the Dario Melendez, the Dominic Cotroneo, the Jeff Levering. I had a brief conversation with Sophia. That's not on air and recorded. That was a couple of years back. But any one of these people and any person that I've talked to, it's a family. They're all buddies. But even like they talk about Brian Anderson like he's our best friend because he is. That he's a Milwaukee guy. He's blown up. He's gotten big. He called LeBron's shot. He called Steph Curry's shot the other day. I mean, he's as big as it can be as broadcasters go. But they're all friends. They're all family. They all relate. Like the conversations that we have off air. Sometimes it's hilarious the things that they say to me because it's like you guys are just one big family at the end of the day. That's what they need to create inside the team. They need to make these guys a family. So then they don't want to leave each other. They talk about Dodgers and Braves and Padres and all these teams. That's what they do. The Yankees, it's a family. At the end of the day, make these guys a family. Let's see here. But neither was that far from one another. They weren't. I mean, at the end of the day, it wasn't. But it was just the arbiter. The arbiter made that call. My question, do you see Yelich leading off again this year? Great show. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it, guys. If you leave a like, leave a comment. I appreciate you. Subscribe, press that button. Follow me on all the platforms. Brush your hair, whatever. I see you. I have to say, guys, this has been fun. I'm really enjoying this one. This has been one of the most hot ones. So thank you, Corbin Burnes, for making bad decisions that make me be able to talk and have a great audience. Leadoff position, I would love to see it. I think he bats 250 to 275 this year. And that's kind of a combination of everything I've seen. He says he's back. He says he's better and had the best offseason, which is good because it's actually been the first full offseason that we've had in years. Post 2020, this has been the best time. So I would like to see it. I would like to see him hit more like he hit in Miami. Not 2018, 2019 numbers, but more like the Miami numbers. At the end of the day. That is what I want to see out of Christian Yelich as well. I expect to see we're paying him the money for it. That's the proof in the pudding right there. Why the Brewers are a little leery about long-term contracts right now. Mark already gave out a long-term contract to Christian Yelich, and look how it's gone. When Hader was on, I think Mitchell will lead off at some point. You think Mitchell would lead off? Ooh, I like that. A little controversy. Mitchell as a leadoff hitter. I think he's good, like 4 or 5. If I were to stack it right now, I would put Christian Yelich number at leadoff. I would go probably Willie, Rowdy. Then I would use Winker, Mitchell, Contreras or Caratini. And then from there, like your Luis Urias, your what else is down there? You fill it out with whoever else is playing that day. I think I think the continuation of the multiple, never the same batting order is going to continue with the exception of certain key positions such as the leadoff hitter, which pretty much at this juncture probably sounds like it's going to be Christian Yelich until we see otherwise. And then Rowdy and Willie are going to be some combination in the middle there. And then there's going to be, Jesse Winker and stuff like that. It's going to be who's ever hot. They're going to play the hot hand like they always have, but we're going to see the lineup thing that Craig Counsell likes to do, whether it's Owen Miller being in there, whether it's Luis Urias, whether it's Winker, Tyrone Taylor, whoever makes the club, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm not saying specific people for reasons. I'm saying whoever makes the club, there's going to be 20 different lineups, 30 different lineups, 150 different lineups. They've done a little bit of everything, and it's been fun to see that. That's one of the fun parts, I think, when you go to the club every day, or when you watch this club every day, is the adventure of it. The different things. Ooh, Brewers are trending on my Twitter. What are the Brewers trending for? Oh, it's William Contreras. I'm a little concerned about Contreras, and I've said this multiple times over, but I'm concerned that Contreras has not really been very vocal since he signed with the Brewers, not showing a lot of excitement, and I don't know why that is. And I'd like answers. I'd like to see it. I mean, the pictures in this video of him that are showing Sweet Swing, it's on Twitter right now. Great. But I'm sick. Oh my God. Ben Verlander, it's another MLB reporter, posted this video. Corbin Burnes isn't happy, rightfully so. I don't care anymore. Stop. Just stop. Like, it's been beat up for the last 2 days. I'm over it. I'm done with it. Let's move on, folks. The XFL has started. Anybody watching the XFL? I want to know how it is. Signed. Oh, we also signed Justin Wilson. I totally forgot about that. I even messaged that out today. I did, and I totally forgot. Let's go see what Justin Wilson signed. Anybody know? I think it's a minor league deal. Trade. Contreras not talking could be a blessing. Could mean he is concentrating on building a winner in Milwaukee, learning the staff. That could be okay. We'll take the positive spin. Thank you. I maybe I keep just veering to the negative too much. Thank you for the positive spin on that. We're going to MLB trade rumors to see exactly what Justin Wilson is signed for. Signed a 1-year deal with a club option for 2024 since Wilson underwent Tommy John surgery last June. Oh boy, Tommy John guy. It isn't known whether or not he'll be able to pitch this season. Trevor Rosenthal all over again. Milwaukee will retain control of his service when he is healthy. Wilson will remain in the NL Central as he had been a member of the Reds organization, a part of the Yankees. Okay. So that's not a impact the club right now kind of move. Ugh. All right. I thought that was because we had 2 starters injured, we signed another guy, but apparently not. The chat is on fire today, and I really want to say I appreciate you guys for that. I'm all over the board here. So I think Yelich will get hurt and Mitchell will fill in. Don't wish injury upon us. What are you doing? No injuries. We're all going to be healthy. Spring training starts. Yes. So we got a game on the 25th. This is the first game. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to watch. It's good to see the Milwaukee Brewers being back in front of us. I think that's the best part about right now is we're talking about things that are actually going to be happening really soon. And instead, I will get to cover that a pitcher played an inning and got lit up or not got lit up or, pitched a gem, sat down the side. Once I can talk about that on a regular basis, I will love life again. Not that I'm not loving my life. Don't get me wrong. I'm loving this show. I'm loving what I'm doing here. But we need baseball. We need baseball for a podcast to be successful about baseball. Do you mean South? Do you mean South? Is that what you meant? Wrigley, right? Wrigley, Miller Park South. Yes, I did. So and it's weird to me. I don't know what they're doing as far as like on sale dates. I haven't really. Let's go look live on the show again. I recorded another video tonight. BruceFanatic.com. I've been all over there with the videos, and basically I got to wrap this into a shorter video. So that'll be fun. It's pressing the kids club. They're pressing the kids club, but I don't think they've pressed it. I really don't. Single game tickets. Are they on sale or not? Remember they usually always have like a tailgate thing. Yeah, they don't have a date. They don't have the single game ticket date on here yet. That's normally right now. So if you go to the podcast that I did the other day with Bart Winkler, you can go check that out on YouTube. I know it's on Apple. I listened to it on Apple already. If you check that out, they actually we talk about how their organization has done things really poorly. Not team wise, not with the players and the management of the players, but like that $6 voucher debacle last year for 1 million fans. They moved the bobblehead games to Saturday nights, which just seems stupid. Like, why do you gotta make Saturday nights bigger? Like, shouldn't a Saturday night at the ballpark be as busy as it can be, anyways? And then it comes down to things like, okay, the promotional schedule. I think you can buy the promotional games, but I don't think you can buy individual tickets yet, and I don't know why. Oh, breaking news. What? Oh, breaking news. Seiya Suzuki got big. But yeah, that's the boring part of this. Like right now we're in this boring part. Trying to figure all this stuff out, and I'm like, oh God, it just sucks. It just sucks that we're sitting here like trying to figure out, okay, when can we buy these tickets? Wouldn't you have an idea already? Wouldn't you be selling this stuff? I mean, I know season ticket holders are already probably have their deals and stuff like that, but like somebody told me the other day, like they haven't even been contacted as a season or about paying for their season seats yet. And I was like, that's pretty bad. So they're saying pre-sale is the 25th. Is what you're telling me? They don't communicate any of this to us. It's really for you guys as ticket holders. Okay. They haven't communicated anything. And like I feel like by now usually I've bought like single games or opening day tickets. Usually there's an Arctic tailgate. I don't know. It says it on the Arctic tailgate shirt wherever I have that. It's probably somewhere in the closet. I don't know. Either way, it's frustrating. It's frustrating as hell to be a Brewers fan right now because nothing is concise and like there's no consistency to where the organization puts things. And that sucks. That truly, truly sucks. Both really bad. I don't know if she's still listening. She probably jumped off. She probably got bored of me because I talked for an hour. Holy crap, guys. We went for an hour. Go us. Go us. I appreciate each and every person here that's helped me go this far. It's easy to talk for an hour when there's stuff to talk about. When there's not, I drone on for 30 minutes and it gets boring. And I apologize if they get boring sometimes, but that's what I got. That's what that's the cards I'm dealt with. So, yeah, this was a fun one. This was one of the funnest live podcasts. I mean, they get funner and funner every week, maybe because I announce it and I tell people, and more people are getting jacked for baseball. I don't know. It's probably a combination of all those things. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're listening. Rate, review, subscribe. Join me again. Typically 4 o'clock, 4:30, somewhere in that vicinity. We usually go for an hour, 45 minutes, half an hour, something like that. I don't know. And this is your only Daily Brewers podcast. So I appreciate y'all for being here. This coming week, I have nothing that I know of on the schedule right now. So I will check back with you in tomorrow night's episode and tell you what the schedule is for the week ahead. I just lost track of it this week, apparently. Too many episodes, too many podcasts. That's what happens sometimes. When you go on other people's podcasts, go check out Bart Winkler. Bart Winkler is a sarcastic, he lives in the negative, kind of, but he's also very positive and light and does some funny stuff. Yeah. And go back and watch this week's episodes if you haven't already, or listen to them. At least listen to them. You can turn me on in the background and still hear what I have to say and some of the funny things I say. So, guys, that's all I got tonight. I've droned your ear out for far too long, and I hope some people got something out of this and got some information, because that's what this is about. That's what I try and put out. I try and put out good information that is solid for everyone to listen to and to understand, and cover things in a different way than maybe they would if you just read the stories about it online. So that's what this is for. As always, guys, go Brewers, and you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.